really stretched when we renamed her.
Hi guys.
I know her from Futurama, King of the Hill, many others.
You even remember that?
Let me ask you this, get this out of the way. How did you like working with Katie Siegel on Futurama?
Oh, she's great. She's just, she was always so strong and tough and like perfect for Leela. And I remember that when she wasn't there one time, they wanted me to just temp Leela. I'm like, oh no, because Leela and Amy are so different, and so I did my best. But she's just a strong, smart gal, and it's been fun to track her career after Futurama too. And I think everyone except for Katie, probably because she's too busy, we all have moved to Disenchantment now in various different roles. I'm just recurring and stuff, but I think John has probably the most to do. But yeah, but it's been really fun.
So when I started paying attention to the names of the credits in the animation, for Andrea Romano was the name I really started gravitating towards. I know you worked with her. Obviously, you had a small part as a reporter, recurring
And
reporter. Superman.
Yeah.
So, and then I noticed with more projects you worked with her a lot. So I was curious the evolution, the working relationship, how that evolved from Superman to Batman.
She is one of the best directors in the business by far. It's just because she's so sharp and quick. I don't know if you noticed. Well, when she sits, you'll notice, but she speaks really quickly, and her sentences come out in complete sentences, which is so great. And the way that she can just kind of like get the job done, nail it, and I'm always in and out in sessions with her. I remember when I had kids, I was like literally holding my baby, doing the part. She had me in and out, and it's a great job to have when you have a family. So I was really always so happy every time she called me in for a different project, a different series.
Did you have to worry about hair and makeup?
Exactly.
Did you have to audition for Dana Tan since you had worked with Andrea before on Superman?
I did for the creators, but Alan just told me such a sweet story that that Bruce Timm, when he heard my audition, just said, "That's it. That's what I want." And it's so cool because you never really know. You can only just do what you do, and then it just somehow matched up with what he was hearing in his imagination. So that's it. I don't know what it was, but maybe my flat Midwestern accent, because I'm from Chicago, so it's like candy, ant, I don't know. Not your typical Asian,
It's a multicultural feature.
Yes,
So.
but it's a different kind of accent than you might think.
Right.
Was there anything unique or different for the character of Dana that you used for the animated series compared to other characters you've played before?
I kind of look at each part just as an acting job, as if it were on camera. So I think that, I just tried to tap into what it would be like to be, a larger-than-life person's girlfriend, which has kind of happened to me when I've dated like big celebrities, and I always felt like this little, gnat flying around this, but you do kind of like, I don't know, if I were to meet a superhero or someone like that, I think that it would be a trade-off, because like as a woman you wouldn't want to just be like a great person's attachment. You would want to kind of find your own voice, your own reason for being here. So, but I think that there's a lot to be said for being around greatness, for sure. Yeah.
Since Batman Beyond, you've been also playing in Teen Titans Go, DC Superhero Girls, or even Young Justice. So what's your relationship to the DC characters in general?
My kids are really good at this, but I always get really confused between Marvel and DC. So wait, so the Justice, that's
Young Justice, Teen
Young
Titans, they're
Justice,
all
that's
DC
all
characters.
DC. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I play it's interesting. So I played a lot of bad guys in the Teen Titans series, which is much different than like being a good guy. But it's been great to just be afforded the opportunity to play really different kinds of so Gizmo is like an 8-year-old boy, and then Jinx is, you know, like a teenage girl, much probably more like Dana, but also one of the bad guys. So that's been sort of delicious to play her, and I love being part of this whole world, and Superman. Yeah, so Superman's part of DC too, right?
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
okay. Don't know why it can't stick in my brain. Yeah, and that was just a reporter on Superman, but I loved that too. I think also an epic show. And I realized how big the fandom is once I started getting on social media. I had no idea, you know, because you're kind of like fumbling in the dark there.
Right.
Yeah. It's
How
nice
did
and unifying.
how did the relationship between Terry and Dana evolve for you, or what's throughout the course of the
Yes,
show?
Will said that they end up getting married.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
They had
I
kind of like a
With the
flash
ring,
forward
Yeah.
flash forward,
in
right?
Yeah.
Justice League episode.
In
But
Justice
we don't
League,
get the
that's why.
dog. So I guess we'd have to get another one.
I guess so.
Because he keeps the dog, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. That's important.
Yeah.
Why did the show end? Did it just complete its run? My memory is just fading, so.
Oh, you know, I'm not sure either, to be honest, but I do. Were you guys at that live panel thing? But anyway, I just think that it would be so great for a network to bring us back. Because Futurama came back in just that way. When the DVDs came out, the fans started like buying them, and they saw that there was money to be made, so Comedy Central brought us back. Wouldn't that be incredible for that to happen here, where this is all like just dropping now, and like, I don't know, maybe Comedy Central, you know?
I was gonna say I literally like grew up watching Batman Beyond. So
Oh, really?
I feel like I always felt like it was ahead of its time. So I could definitely see it coming back. with that.
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask like, is there a way fans could petition?
The DVDs.
Something.
Honestly,
Oh, I
I
have all
think
the boxes.
No, the new one.
Same thing with the dollars. The dollars definitely get attention in Hollywood, and it'd be nice to have something like with substance and darker and on the air as far as animation goes. I mean, most of the things I do are on the goofier side. So I don't know. Are there a lot of series that are a little bit darker animated out right now?
A few, I think.
Probably more than there was.
Probably. Yeah.
Like which ones? I'm interviewing you
Oh
now.
gosh.
But they're not there a lot, right? Or-
I mean, as I said, Young Justice has gotten darker as the
That's
show has
true,
gone
that's
on.
true.
As the show has gone on, and especially when they have more streaming stuff, they can do more niche, and you don't have to appeal towards the mass kid audience.
That's true.
There is kind of the boom in adult-oriented
That too, right?
Oh, yeah.
The specific
Adult
adult.
Swim.
Yeah.
Adult Swim.
Oh, right, of course.
And the stuff on Netflix, of course.
Yes.
And the DC, a lot of the DC video releases.
Have been darker. You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
Killing Joke.
Because they don't have the same restrictions that you guys were
Right.
operating
Exactly.
under.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if it would work for them to go the other way, like Teen Titans did, and make a really young
Goofier,
version.
yeah.
Right. That, I mean,
maybe.
Do you see that potentially maybe happening for Batman Beyond?
well, why not? We had Teen Titans Go,
That's
and
true.
you know,
Batman Beyond Go. I like it.
yeah. We start him younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Start the fandom, and it'll just keep growing that way.
You mentioned your kids before being in there with you in the recording sessions. Have they watched the show?
Oh yeah, they love almost all of the animated series I do, which is really great because then I can give them all the swag that I get. You know, they get very excited and they can be big man on campus for a few. I just sent both of them the Disenchantment T-shirts.
It's a great show. What do you think is the most challenging thing as a voice actor for you personally, given
You know,
all the
what's
roles?
great is that because, you know, there's no stereotyping, I can really be any gender or any age or any, you know, quality. So I've played like a 80-year-old Jewish woman and a 5-year-old black boy, and, you know, it's you know, obviously you would never be able to do that on camera, so it's very freeing. And also, you can dress like a slob if you want to. You don't have to memorize your lines. It's very quick, unless you're recording it live, which is always the best way to do it because it's like doing a radio play, and then you can really play off of each other. That's why Futurama always took forever. because everyone was goofing around so much. But yeah, no, it's been a great addition to my career, and sometimes I feel like, you know, when we hit that recession and the writer's strike and everything stopped, I just was so grateful to have the voiceover work, because I had 2 kids and I was raising my family, and so it really carried me through, and so I'll always be grateful for this. And the other thing is that this world, for some reason, I've never met one jerk. I've never met one asshole in this entire voiceover world. And on the on-camera side, you kind of meet a lot of people with huge egos that you have to kind of learn how to negotiate around. But for some reason, this world attracts very down-to-earth, nice, regular people.
How does it feel to also keep your anonymity, because you don't get mobbed in the streets, say like, Gwyneth Paltrow?
Right. Well, I mean, most people, it's because I've done a little bit of both, of on camera and, you know, like, and the voiceover. People tend to sometimes have heard my voice, like in Starbucks, and turn around and go, "Oh my gosh, it's Amy Wong," or something like that. That's been fun.
Or the friends you had, less positive when you broke up.
I know. I actually got booed.
I bet.
Because it was taped live, you know.
People
And they were so mad at me and my character
for just being a nice person on a TV.
Yes, but it still hurt. Like, you guys.
Do you find that the fans of the shows are people who've maybe just discovered them in recent years, or are a lot of the fans people who have been fans for 20 years or however long of these shows?
You know, it's interesting because I'm so old now, but I've had like kind of a long time. So the people, I'm so glad that they still air Friends in repeats, because it keeps me current with the younger crowd. But I kind of get mostly stopped for Friends, and then across the board, some people remember the Joy Luck Club, but that's like a whole other pocket.
Exactly.
Well, now you have Andy Mack.
And then Andy Mack was a Disney show I just did for 3 years, and so then I've got like a 6-year-old crowd too. They're you know what I mean? The little kids, they'll go, "Oh my gosh, are you CC?" And that's very, very cute. So. Yeah, it's kind of nice because it's just the amount of fame where it's not intrusive, but it happens probably like 4 times a week, let's say, and it's always really sweet. But a lot of times it's like, "Did we go to high school together? You seem so familiar," and people can't quite place it, you know.
Cool.
But it's nice because I just work with. I'm in Goliath now, which is Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Amy Kelly.
Yeah, and season 3, and it's. Really interesting when we were just hanging out with Billy Bob Thornton, just when we would go to dinner after we were shooting and as a group and everything, and it's really such a different ball of wax when you have that kind of fame, because then it's like you can't go anywhere. I think that would be really hard to deal with, you know, if you're a private person.
A little Bad Santa reunion going on there. A Bad Santa.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was really a fun movie. That character was a bit like Min, a little bit. Yeah. And every time I did a character that had an accent like that, it was always based on my grandma, because I grew up listening to her speak and kind of got her voice in my head. Yeah, it was really fun.
Do you find yourself having to do a lot of research before tackling on a new role, or just kind of some of these roles come naturally to you?
You know, it depends what the role is. Sometimes it just hits right where it's just like a perfect fit, and I don't really have to do anything but show up and be present. And then other times it'll be something that I have no experience of. So I think that the research that I did the most on was a movie that nobody really saw, but it was called Mr. Jones, and it was with Richard Gere, and I was playing a manic depressive. And my character ends up killing herself, so it's really dark and deep, and I did some research there a lot because I really wanted to do it justice, and also the storyline had to do with being Asian and being expected to be perfect and not having a voice. So all of that I didn't need to research, because I had Asian parents. So But yeah. So it just depends. I mean, I really do enjoy having something to like deep enough to research, because a lot of times I've done a lot of comedy things, and then of course the Joy Luck Club. I just read the book, and Amy Tan was there every day, so I could ask her questions, and Ron Bass, the screenwriter, was there all the time too. So it was interesting because the director asked all of us. The director kind of paired us up visually, like who looks like they could go together, mother-daughter, and then asked us which character we felt the closest to from the book. And then he kind of let us choose, and ironically, we all picked someone different. So that's how we all landed in the different daughter parts. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was really cool, and we just had a big reunion for that movie too, because that was also had its 25th anniversary.
That's right.
So the Academy threw us a big party with a panel, and everybody who was associated with it came.
Wow.
Yeah. So the writers, everybody. That was. It's her Terry Gar.
How'd you like working with Terry?
Oh, she's amazing, because she was in my all-time favorite movie growing up, Young Frankenstein. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Mom.
Oh my gosh, yes, Mr. Mom. I just loved that movie so much. She was such a trooper, because she already had, I think, a bit of the MS at that point. But what a lovely lady. Yeah. It's fun. And Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Doing the movie. Wow, that was he can just talk forever, and he has the most hilarious, interesting stories. And I remember when I knew I was going to be working with him, my brother is a gigantic Star Wars fan, so I hauled that model, that gigantic model in, so that he could sign it for him and put it back in my trunk. Hi.
I think Alan's kicking you out.
Okay, bye. Nice talking to you guys.
Thank you. Ma'am, can I get a photo with you?
Sure. Oh, wait, it went away.
Son of a...
Sorry.